Hey people, Indrid here, 3v3, Hades Waste, blue team. Fenrigh as a Plague Champion starts off with the damage of a time bolt gun, can get to melee weapons, debilitates enemies and support allies, can repair too. Death Guard elite scheme here, alongside Taco as an Eversor assassin, a risk-reward melee brawler that explodes on death, and rounding off the team here, UncensoredAngel as a Lictor alpha, a melee specialist that infiltrate and disrupt, some powerful offense, and a bit of support. Red team, KazKyzah as a Warboss, a melee hero, walking through objects, very good offense, disruption and support from the front lines. Death Skull's elite scheme here, I believe, alongside Alekseiz as a Lord General. Fighting in ranged combat begins with a retinue of stormtroopers, regional defense and support can also add to the retinue, having a bit of bother with an Eversor assassin at the moment. Rounded off the teams is Sini as a Warp Spider Exarch, a teleporting hero fighting in ranged combat by default, ready for capping and harassing some powerful control. He's on the east side, being chased by Hormagaunts. Double Guardians don't like Hormagaunts either, trying to split and shoot. More Hormagaunts coming in as a Termagant brood as well. Lictor Alpha busy decapping the VP. Should be fighting, I think. 2-1 cap very early on for the blue team. Hormagaunts doing a very good job once they get in there, munching on those Guardians and forces off Sini's army without the Lictor Alpha really getting involved. Only had the double Guardians up. Meanwhile, in the mid, the Lord General decapping stuff with his Orky allies. Plague Champion backs off. Plague Champion retreats off. Was 2v1 against him, I guess, there. Taco, meanwhile, already off the field. Some Stormtroopers died. The Strike Squad got away without a loss, though. Howling Banshees coming in now for Sini. And another Termagant brood for UncensoredAngel. Double Termagants, double Hormagaunts can be really good. Especially when a Lictor Alpha can start the fight with a flesh hook. Finished grabbing the VP, then went all sneaky-like, and then the Sentinel got close enough to spot him. Hormagaunt brood here with adrenal glands. More health, more damage, and they can leap. Oh, and more speed. Little bit more speed. Flesh hook on the Lord General. You just leave Derek and Nigel alone, please. Looks like they're okay for now. They're hiding over here. Howling Banshees onto the field now with their power melee weapons. Not any heavy infantry in UncensoredAngel's army for them to power melee. But they'll chop up the Hormagaunts and the Termagants quite nicely. And of course, Taco has double the Strike Squad here, which are heavy infantry, of course. And double Tomes of Titan and double Banishment went in there. Taco's Eversor assassin getting quite low, though. Isolating himself a little bit, which he sometimes wants to do because of Bio Meltdown and stuff. Found some Guardians, hit them once, and then ran off. In fact, did he even hit them? Maybe. Double Strike Squad are now quite far up the field. Sluggers are a threat to them, but more so when they have their burners, which these guys do not yet. Double Shooter Boy's got all the Daka, though. Shuriken Cannon on the way for Sini, kicking off on the east side. Double Hormagaunts with adrenal glands on both of them. That's a big threat to those Howling Banshees if they double up, especially with upgraded Termagant broods shooting them. Toxin sacks are in. Where's the Lictor? Lictor's sneaking at our base right now. The double Strike Squad just backed away, which I think was smart from Taco. No reason to push that power bash when it's defended like that and you're isolated. Hormagaunts brood now backing off. And the Lord General has his medic buddy in there. He can hand out medical packs. Lictor Alpha gets knocked back by the Catachans. Does a special attack and then runs. Yeah, I think Angel needs to get out of here. Sentinel gets some repairs. Shuriken sets up now. That's going to help control the movement of those Hormagaunt broods. And of course the Lictor Alpha, if he can be spotted. And speaking of spotting him, Sini did not get Rangers up yet to help spot the infiltrated Lictor Alpha. Alekseiz does have the Sentinel that can get some detection from decent range. Catachans can also detect. There's that double Banishment, but they took a lot of damage while they were setting up those Banishments, didn't they? Double Strike Squad did drop a model there. I think that's the first one that's died, though. I think. Taco has preserved them relatively well up to then. Interceptors on the field now. Teleporting infantry with melee weapons can get a ranged option in tier 3. And I think we have a boss pole up. All those orange buff circles you see there. Even the Catechin's impressed with his boss pole. Plague Champion flees, does have blight grenades in. I'm sure I've missed some really good blight grenade throws already. Who's this over here? Some heretics hanging out. Slugger's looking for a flank maybe. Don't think they can get close enough, quickly enough. 496 to 330 on the VPs, kicking off on the east side. Hormagaunt's getting torn up. But a Shuriken mistimed that approach there, I think. UncensoredAngel tried to get a Lictor Alpha in on the flank, but the Hormagaunts are already really close. And they wiped. And these guys almost wiped as well. Double Termagant Brood still in play. Supported by Interceptors getting into the back lines there. Messing up the Guardians. Think they're going to wipe. They do indeed wipe. Lots of lasgun fire going in. Catechins maybe should have closed for melee there. Catechin Devils have power melee weapons. Could have threatened those Interceptors. Grenade barrage launcher thing from the Catechins there. Good hit on the double Termagants. They're off the field, and here's a Warrior Brood. The Warrior Brood will provide... there we go. Basic Synapse. Got some power melee damage and can leap in. Oh! And they've upgraded to a Barb Strangler. Forget everything I said. They can still leap on you. Do they keep their power melee? But they're mainly going to be used for shooting Barb Stranglers now. They've dropped a model already. That's a heavy melee Warp Spider Exarch now with Power Blades. UncensoredAngel still in tier 1. Also have the enhanced Warp Jump Generator. 456 to 330 on the VPs. Uncensored needs to go tier 2 already. They are floating quite a lot here. Warp Spider Exarch gets out, did some good work. Lictor Alpha still down. And looks like red team pushing the west side. Plague Champion's fallen over. And they're power bashing. Only 2 sluggers left, which means they both have the burners. And they can burn stuff. Full power bash, is it? I think so. Fenrigh has lost his heretics. Has double CSM and a Dreadnought, though. That thing with an autocannon by default and an underslung twin-linked bolter will threaten his Orks for sure. Orks can very quickly get anti-vehicle on the field with tank busters, though. Although you need to be tier 2 for that. KazKyzah has gone. KazKyzah, sorry. And Uncensored has gone tier 2. Replace the Hormagaunts that were lost. No adrenal glands for them yet, though. Sini, with Dark Creepers. Lost those Guardians, lost the Banshees as well. Still has the Shuriken. Dark Creepers will pile the damage onto the Warrior Brood with their Inferno PvP damage type. Very effective versus heavy infantry, but they may just be suppressed by the Warrior Brood also. Not to mention the Hormagaunts getting in there. Warp Spider Exarch gets into melee with the Hormagaunt Broods, forces them off. Again, they tried to kind of brute force their way towards the Shuriken. Shut down now by the Barb Strangler shots, getting suppressed. Termagant Brood looking for melee, and they get rid of the Shuriken. They did brute force it in the end. Warp Spider's tearing through the Termagant Broods. Should be surely tying up the Warrior Brood here. Has a pretty good counter to these guys. Just teleport your Warp Spider in and hit them. Anti-grav grenade also. That could be super effective against double Hormagaunts running in on the same target. We have a Primaris Saka on the field for Alekseiz. As an area of effect psychic attack, which is very nice. That was an anti-grav grenade you saw there. Warboss has now got a Power Claw. Chasing off the Dreadnought. Taking some shots as he does so from a few of the Stormtroopers. Some of them aren't interested, they're capping. Here we go. They're backing away so they can turn and fire maybe. Yep. Plague Champion getting some shots as well. And a Doom Blast suppressed from the Heretics. Missile Launcher Sentinel though. So yeah, Dreadnought still needs to be careful. What's the Sentinel benefiting from the boss pole there? That was weird. Doesn't affect vehicles, does it? It says Allied Infantry. They seem to get the buff circle. Plague Champion now with a Plague Fist. chucks in a blight grenade, actually nicely timed. Got the catechins that's going to spread to all this stuff. Catechins threw a heal on from the medical sergeant, I think. Primaris Psycho got a bit of XP. Could do some really good damage against the double CSM and the double strike squads and the interceptors. All the heavy infantry, basically. That psychic attack will mess them up. And he can get an upgrade to improve it as well. Terrifying visions can slow stuff down and suppress it also. Maybe the interceptors, or just throw it on the Eversor when he gets close. Speaking of the Eversor, just helped slay the Warp Spider Exarch there. Got a sync kill, I think. Oh, covered up by smoke. Great. Dark Creeper's getting... Oh, meleeed by the Termagant Brood again there. Fire Dragons on the field now for Sini. Kind of an anti-everything unit, but they're pretty short range, so with the double Hormagaunts around, they may struggle to pour their damage onto stuff effectively. Meanwhile, in the mid, big retreat for Alekseiz stuff, although the Sentinel can't retreat, just stomps away. Yeah, it's definitely getting the boss pole buff circle. So you get an extra health from it. That seems which is wrong. Maybe the boss pole adds its bonuses based on what kind of armor you have. Because the Sentinel, of course, has heavy infantry armor. I want to see the boss pole get far enough away and see if the health drops. But it's always in range. There we go. Okay, the health did not drop. Doesn't seem to be benefiting from the health or anything, but definitely had the buff circle on it. Triple cap for the blue team here. Tier 3 for Uncensored. Dragged his feet getting to Tier 2, but the first one to go Tier 3. Taco with a plasma cannon dreadnought on the field. And Taco's Eversor assassin needs to run, and is indeed running. Assault armor, looks like Bio Meltdown was active. And may kill him, actually. Bio Meltdown does drain your health. Looks like it wore off just in time. He got down to 1 hit point, I think. 383 to 193. A double cap now for the blue team. Decent lead on the VPs, though. About 200 in it. Power bashing Orks with tank busters. Goes Tier 3, so does Alekseiz. Got some ground to make up this red team now. 2 dreadnoughts to deal with as well. They've got the tank busters, they have the missile launcher Sentinel, they now have some Wraith Guard and Fire Dragon, so they do have anti-vehicle weaponry, not to mention, of course, the Power Blades, which are heavy melee, can do some work for you against vehicles. Western contested victory point now turning blue. Going to be a 2-1 for them. Red team taking their natural back. There it is. Tier 3 also for Sini has begun. So Fenrigh and Taco still in Tier 2. Level 3 Eversor with that assault armor for the charge and health regen. Still a level 1 Plague Champion. Level 2 Lictor Alpha has Corrosive Claws. Damage resistance debuff and power melee. Also slows you down if you're a vehicle, which is handy. Level 2 Warboss. Level 2 Lord General. Has his medic, but no other war gear. And a level 3 Warp Spider Exarch. Good shot there, although it was all friendly fire, I suppose. Did hit the Warboss, but also hit double strike squad. There's that psychic attack from the Primaris Psycho, who then runs away. Blue team able to push and keep their VP for now, but are they overextended a bit? Do they need to push like this? Especially with those dreadnoughts. Keep them back, I say. Interceptor's looking for a fight. So it is the Eversor assassin. Looted tank on the field now for KazKyzah. Now the blue team have a vehicle to deal with. The dreadnoughts can have a go at it. So is the Plague Champion, looks like. Gets a hit and then runs. 383 to 121. 2-1 cap for the blue team. What is this? Looking for a triple cap is the blue team. Yes, since the Shuriken went down, Sini has really struggled to control the approach of these Tyranids. Once they get close enough, there's not a whole lot that he can do. Doesn't have the entangling web or anything. Should really be getting another shuriken up. Or a Wraith Lord that can go toe-to-toe with this stuff. Wraithguard doing Wraithguard things with their Wraith Cannons. Interceptors flee. Eversor Assassin has a word with him. Now has Chem Cloud Grenades. For 12 seconds, enemy infantry deal 50% less damage and lose health regen. Is he good? Can just like move away from it, but it does linger for a few seconds as you see there, but it's really good area denial and can swing a fight. 50% less damage is a lot. Leman Russ on the field now for Alekseiz, going for Executioner, which is more... No, it's not. Vanquishes him now. For large targets, going to shoot down those Dreadnoughts is the plan, I think. Fire Prism coming in now for Sini. Red team down under 100 VPs, but they're getting some good units on the field, and they've taken the Western VP now. Blue team losing a bit of momentum. In fact, the red team have creeped down the eastern side now, although blue team still have this fully populated contested power, which is very useful for them. Chaos Predator on the way for Fenrigh. Level 2 Dreadnoughts done well. You fellas Mark of Zinch? No, you just have an aspiring champion. Other fellas are Mark of Khorne with those chain axes. Meanwhile, east side, Uncensored getting through immediately again onto the VP. Fire Dragon is staying in play way too long. And Dark Creeper's target discipline seems to be poor. They should be shooting at the Warriors, although easier said than done when you've got double Hormagaunts bearing down on you. A Fire Prism is going to be really useful because that can disrupt from long range. Anti-grav grenade there. Primaris Psyche helping out. Warrior Brood dropping a model that was an ethereal wave from the Psyche. Would have knocked stuff over, but it was already in retreat. 348 to 96 on the VPs. Looted Tank in a bit of trouble. Plague Champion trying to get it finished, but is suppressed. Not sure what he got. Not sure what he got suppressed by though. Just sheer weight of fire. He could theoretically suppress you, since every ranged weapon, well, nearly every ranged weapon does a bit of courage damage. Just not enough to suppress you alone usually, unless it's designed for that, like a heavy bolter. Swarm Lord on the way for Uncensored. Double looted tanks now for KazKyzah. Big push by the blue team, but is it overextension? Fenrigh just lost some CSM, and Taco down to just 2 units now. Uncensored still has a big old army of infantry, and now a Swarm Lord to support all of it. Here he is, super unit for Tyranids, provides a reinforcement and speed synapse, and is a powerful melee combatant, as you could probably tell by all the bone swords. Has vehicle armor, and is relatively speedy, kind of stomping around. And self-heal as well with Leech Essence. Taco with Vortimer Razorback. There's the response to try and recover here. Got a Vortimer coming, I'll go with you, says Taco. Eversor now with a Melter Bomb. Uncensored pushing here. Feels confident with his Swarm Lord, I suppose. Is it going to go after the Fire Prism? Swarm Lords, as you may have guessed, do have heavy melee. They can tear through anything. Goes for the Wraith Guard. Actually, there's an Eldritch. Eldritch from Sini. Fire Dragon's getting some good work on the Swarm Lord. The Wraith Guard actually wiped there. That was kind of sloppy from Sini. Just left them there to die. Power Blades working on the Swarm Lord, but he's going to struggle to do huge amounts of damage with this. The Swarm Lord will have melee resistance. And vehicle units, vehicle armor already takes half damage, I believe, from heavy melee. And that'll be reduced further with melee resistance. 275 to 96, but hey, your Fire Prism's getting some good shots in. So will the Fire Dragon. Swarm Lord needs to leave. Vanquisher Cannon's shown up. Vortimer moves forward, but that's not going to last long under a Vanquisher either. Looks like it was enough to push back the Leman Russ a bit and maybe save that Swarm Lord. Swarm Lord needs to keep moving though back to base. Should just be ordered back to base. There it is, I think it's going. 260 to 96. Autark on the field for Sini. Looks like a Venom Brood there for Uncensored. And ranged Synapse coming in. Probably called in right there that I missed. What is this? Some power bashing Orks. Look at the red that KazKyzah has. Should be using red way more than that with a Warboss. Got such good global buffs. Oh, we have a Marco Zinch Dreadnought now. Missile launcher good versus vehicles. Down goes a Predator tank. Vortimer holding on to its life. Looks like the Orks have been backed off though. Powerclaw Warboss has not been backed off at all. Has heavy armor in play actually. Red team now pushing back. Rocks dropped in on the Tyranid blob. You don't really get any good big hits though. Slightly lucky to escape a big hit on those Synapse creatures maybe. Alekseiz with a Baneblade coming up. Another looted tank for KazKyzah. Still has one around. Your Autark, did you get something? You got a fusion gun. Which is handy. She has insanely good mobility, so having a ranged anti-vehicle weapon is pretty nice for her. Well, kind of anti-everything weapon. Level 8 Warp Spider, eh? Done some work with those Power Blades. Chopped up plenty of Termagants and things, I think. That Swarm Lord has fully healed up. Lictor Alpha now, with Menacing Visage, can force the Fire Dragons to retreat immediately, perhaps. Oh, uses it to make the Guardians retreat there. That was weird. The least threatening unit is the one that is told to retreat. Oh, here comes a Seer Council. That's going to be a very good target for Menacing Visage. Baneblade is in. Bristling with guns. Big mega battle cannon on the top. Which is like a super auto cannon, I guess. A demolisher on the front. Las cannons, heavy bolters, all sorts of good stuff. Uncensored on the west side, pushing now. Wants to get some of that contested VP action. That's a big boom gun shot going in there. Swarm Lord. Oh, runs up to the tank and uses Blade Flurry. That's not how you use that. You want to use that on a big clump of infantry, basically. Baneblade now moving towards the west side under Alekseiz. Got some melter guns on the Stormtrooper retinue fellas as well, and the Lords General. And looks like a Commissar retinue fellas in there too. Swarm Lord gets down one of the looted tanks, but can he get away afterwards? Top of your screen. There's a Commissar shield. I believe it's 55% range damage resistance. The champion has found a Leman Russ to crack on and chucks his Blight Grenade out too. And then retreats with full hit points. That was weird. Why don't you stick around there, buddy? 180 to 87. The Swarm Lord did not get away. I don't see the body anywhere though. In fact, I don't know if the Swarm Lord body stays around. I think it just explodes like a Carnifex. Some weird gastric juices just explode. There's that Seer Council. Massive, massive threat. Well, there you go. I would say big threat for the Interceptors, but they just died. Vortimer Razorback goes down. Parko now with only Grey Knight Terminators. And the Eversor himself, of course. I don't know where he is, though. He's back at base. Red team have had a few decent fights here. Need to get onto VP Discipline. But it's GG from Uncensored. And they've locked this down pretty well. Maybe blue team feel they've lost too much now. There's a rocket run. KazKyzah still with tons and tons of red. Gets another looted tank. Really likes the looted tanks, eh? Didn't see any flash kits or any knobs. Kashyyyk on the way here. Warboss does so well with knob squads as well because of his buffs. Just throw Ard Boys and use your choppers on them and they're way more dangerous. But there it is. Blue team concede. Red team fighting back very well. Baneblade came in. And Ordo's looted tanks from KazKyzah did some decent work. Swarm Lord was overextended back there. And Taco just lost too much, I think. Had a level 2 Plague Champion. Taco's Eversor Assassin, level 6 and down. Not sure if... I don't think he got a weapon upgrade, but he did well. Level 3 Lictor Alpha. Lots of pressure from Uncensored on the east side. Maybe should have rotated west a little bit sooner, perhaps. But, I mean... his team was in the lead for a while. Well, up until the end they were in the lead, actually. Just conceded. Warboss level 5. Level 6 Lord General with those melter guns and also Flak Jacket. And a level 8 Warp Spider Exarch. Slicing through many, many Tyranids with his power blades. There you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see ya next time.